What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube and Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another episode of the Young Guns. Not Young Guns, my bad. I'm getting the podcast mixed up. Of the Just Chillin podcast, the call-in show. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got Logan, Bobby, Yavraj, Big Play, Slay. Listen, Slay, you're gonna need to call in. I'm not gonna lie, your Eagles look good, man. Herbert Elliott, Lord Commander Manny. It's been a while, Manny. How you doing, man? He says from Port St. Louis. Bobby, of course, you could come on as a member. I believe I already posted the link in the member community notes. You just gotta go over there and check it out. At Sober Party, what's up? Bobby Murphy, another Eagles fan. Listen, man, there's a lot of things to talk about. The Giants are 2-0. As you see right here, we got GANO. Well, that wasn't really an intentional rhyme, but we got GANO and CMC on the bottom here. CMC, he had one big run, but other than that, the defense did what the defense does under Donwick Martindale, as I believe we are one of the better defenses in the league right now when it comes to holding points. Granted, it's only 2 weeks. Granted, it's only against the teams we play. We're going to see how it translates next week. But we're 2-0 nonetheless. Yo, shout out to Diggy in the chat. That's my bro right there. Make sure y'all go over to his channel. Check him out. He had a great breakdown of Adoree Jackson's performance. I believe it was from week 1. I'm not sure if he's doing a sequel. He definitely should for week 2. But check that out, man. Diggy was one of the first dudes that put me on to, y'all know, one of my favorite players, Azeez Ojulari, and it was through that his Azeez Ojulari film breakdown, like, what is it, almost 2 years ago now at this point. But definitely give it a check. Bobby Murphy in here, Twizzy, JJM, Spin City, Josh Kalan, Duran Asman. Yeah, Adoree's been doing pretty good as well, man. The defense in general, Supertaj, what's up, man? And the secondary deserves a lot of praise for sure, but Adoree Jackson has been surprisingly good as our number 1 cornerback. Big Dash, what's up, man? How you doing in the chat as well? Yeah, and I don't know if I should be surprised, because he did do better than Bradbury last year, and Bradbury is doing amazing over in Eagles land right now, but Dory's holding up better than I expected him to. You know what I mean? The whole of the defense is holding up better than I expected him to. Anthony in here as well. As the people come in, guys, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and definitely share it out to get all of the other Giants fans in here. There's a lot of people on Giants Twitter. I'm starting to now, I've been on Giants Twitter for a while, but I'm starting to now kind of build a community over there as more people are going to come in. Shout out to Alex in here as well. But let me get the first caller on. He just popped on. It's somebody else, another Giants creator. You guys need to go over and check out from the Breaking Tackles podcast. In fact, they're going to be doing their podcast at 10 p.m. tonight. It's Antonio. What's good, Antonio? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's going on, Kush? How's everything going, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine, man. Did you get a fade?
I did not. It's my regular fade, and then I'm growing my hair, so now I have like a little man bun going on there.
Oh,
Samurai
word?
man bun, yeah.
All right, no, I hear you. Now, for those of you that don't know Antonio, I said I'm starting to build out my Twitter presence a bit more, and for sure, Josh Kalan asking for the link. I'll drop the link in the chat. You guys know how to call in shows work. Just give me a second here. I accidentally went full screen, and my face was all up in the stream there. We're gonna have a couple of special guests that I asked to appear tonight, and guys, please definitely go over and check them out. But also, this is a chance for you guys to speak directly with them if there's a heated debate going on. And I honestly love when there may or may not be a heated debate going on. But you guys need to check out Antonio. The reason I say that is because he had a pretty good Twitter space today that I didn't really have the chance to participate in because I had to dip out.
I saw you,
Yeah.
and I was trying to get you in too, and it was just so packed. I don't know how the hell did that happen, but yeah.
Nah, man. And when the Giants are winning, I've been saying it because you know, I've been doing it for a good 3-4 years now. When the Giants are winning, the fans are gonna come back, man. All it takes to fix a lot of things is for a team to start winning. I don't know where you want to start. If you want to start directly from that 2-0 win, man, actually, let's do right that. What was your reaction at the time? How were you feeling throughout the game? Just give me your thoughts on the game as it was happening.
Sure. So let me give you a little bit background story. But before we even get into that game, I've predicted that the Giants were going to be a 9-win team this season. And I had us winning the Titans, but it was scary. And shout outs to Dash. He's here too. Dash is also pretty high on the Giants this year. And I guess everybody is now. Everybody is because we're winning. Um, but I had Carolina as, hey, the Titans game is gonna be a game where we're gonna sneak out with a win. We're gonna steal a win. But the Carolina win is gonna be a statement game. And unfortunately, it was a very scary game. And another thing too is that game, I was like, okay, Daniel Jones had a bad week one. He's not gonna follow back to back, especially with this coaching staff and this scheme. And he ended up having a worse game than week one, but we still managed to win. And it just left me like it didn't leave me with a satisfied taste. Even though we won, man, and it's really disappointing.
Let me first get this super chat. Shout out to Tudo Azori for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it, Tudo. He says, massive salute to Kush and Hub Nation for all the diehard Giants fans in America. Slap all the stinky Boyd's losers out the door and forget about it. Appreciate it, Tudo, as usual. And shout out to Tommy for one in here as well. He says the Giants have a chance to keep going on an upward climb, a lot to fix and get more consistent with. But Jones is making better decisions and our trenches will dominate. Jones needs to keep making plays. Now, he made probably one play, 2 plays this past game. The best thing is that it came when we needed it.
Bro. He had a great
that drive where we got the touchdown. Chris Myrick, right? Yes, not Chris Myrick, yes. Daniel Bellinger. That was the best offensive drive of the game. And I don't know what happened, what caused it.
Drive I've seen in like 2 seasons for him. Like that was really good. I was like, who the hell is this?
The thing is, you know what it was? And I was going back and forth. It seems like weekly now, as I'm live streaming the games, I go back and forth with a fan on Twitter, a Giants fan on Twitter, that is. And I was talking about how we need to pound the rock more, and I don't know why we're not pounding the rock more. And this person was coming back at me. They were like, well, the line is being stuffed. And I'm like, that's a fair point. When you got a guy with like Saquon, though, you know he's going to break for one eventually. And he didn't necessarily break for a long one, but that's what started out that drive that we're talking about right now. It started off with what? It was a 12, 13-yard run by Saquon, and then all of a sudden, passing game opened up a little bit. We get a touchdown by the end of it. Now, I'm in a very weird spot as a Giants fan right now because I see that there's a lot of improvement to be made, but I'm also so happy where it's like I'm not necessarily dwelling on it. You know what I mean? Because we're 2-0.
But let me ask you a question. What was your prediction for the season?
My prediction for the season, I think I had a range. I had a range 6 to 9 wins.
Okay,
so 6 wins on the lower end, 9 wins on the up end if things are breaking right. And well, so far things are breaking right.
But that was your range. Where did you think you was gonna be at this season, though?
I think I said 7, which is not necessarily the middle, but towards the middle.
No, but it's still good. I mean, that's still a lot higher than what people were saying, and just off of that though. But even that, like right now, based off these 2 wins, they're probably going to exceed your expectations. Well, hopefully they exceed your expectations in terms of win totals. So it's something. It's like, listen, at the end of the day, we're winning. It's true. Like you can't be angry about wins. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I wish the wins are coming in, and I'm not satisfied enough for the wins. But yeah, no, let's go back to that touchdown drive.
Let me give a shout out to somebody real quick in the chat. Shout out to Brooklyn Hit Squad. What up, man? How you doing? Hit Squad is also gonna be somebody that's gonna be calling in a little bit soon. And go ahead, man. And then I'll pop on Bobby, the first caller of the night, soon too.
So like you mentioned, it started off. So it's a here we go. It's a 15-yard pass, Daniel Jones to Richie James. 16-yard run, and that's what you were talking about. Barkley rush to Carolina 43, 12-yard pass for Daniel Jones, 15 yards pass Daniel Jones to Tanner Hudson, right? Tanner Hudson, that's his guy's name, the other tight end.
Number 88, the best number 88 tight end we had.
Yo, he's shown up. He's shown up. So I got to give him props on that. Then there was a pass incomplete, Jones to Shep, and then there was a touchdown pass from Jones to Bellinger, 16 yards. That drive was 75 yards, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Like, where did this come from? Usually we don't run up all the way through the entire field, and it was really nice to see. I need Jones to get me 2 of those this week for me to calm down on Daniel Jones bashing, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, for those of you that don't know, he's not necessarily a Jones fan. I'm not necessarily the Jones defender I was a couple years either, but I'm definitely way more on the fence than a lot of other people. Let me pop on the first caller. Bobby, what's up, man?
Hey guys, how you
Member of the
doing?
channel. How you doing, bro?
Bobby, what's going
No,
on?
I gotta be a member tomorrow. I'm not a member
You're
right
good.
now.
You're good. Don't worry about it, man.
No, I'm still gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna
You're all
do
right.
the coach. I'm gonna be a coach for you. Um, where is this guy from? This guy on the right?
Antonio. Well, that's
Oh,
up to
from
him
New
to tell.
York, man. What's going on, Bobby?
Yeah, well, I think the Giants could be 11-6 this year.
11-6.
Mhm.
Okay, that's high. That's high, man.
Yeah, I think they're improving. They're not giving up. The team's not giving up like last year. If they were down 13-0 last year, they would not even. They would bury their head in the sand. They came back from the first game 13-0. Remember? And then I think Daniel Jones is improving though. He is very good. He didn't even give up an interception last week.
Coaching does matter, man. I agree with you 100%, man. And that's something that I found out late last season, where I was like, holy shit, like I kind of had my suspicion of it. I didn't want Gary to start the season, but even Gary getting fired, I was like, oh, okay, so
Yeah,
it
now
is
he
has
does
something to do with
Northern
coaching.
games. I have to listen to that guy. Ugh.
Yeah, for real.
I like my Notre Dame, but I have to listen to him. Oh my god! Hey, did you see who the Giants picked up today?
Yeah, Jalen Smith, right?
No, it's a good move.
All I'm saying is we picked up Jalen Smith right before the Cowboys game last year too.
I hope
This is two.
plays
Yo,
gets
tell me, this is twice now. This is not a coincidence. We're picking him right before the Cowboys game. Yo, what's
Well,
going
that's
on
a
here?
smart move. I wouldn't have done that
I don't
too.
know, man, because we also picked up a practice squad player off of the Titans when we were playing the Titans,
Who's that?
and it worked out. I forgot the guy's name,
Mm.
but we picked someone up for their game too. But I mean, listen, in my opinion, when Jalen Smith was here, for those
He was
4
good.
games,
5
he
weeks.
was good. He was
Yeah.
our best run stopping linebacker. So I was wondering, why didn't he start the season with us? Like, why didn't they give him a chance in training camp? I guess it was because of Martinez, but
Yeah.
he's here now. And listen, what I see happening is eventually he might stay in the practice squad for this game. If he
Nah, I
plays
see
this
him
week,
starting.
if he plays this week, that tells you everything you need to know about our inside linebackers.
Yeah.
Because there's no way a guy off the streets that doesn't know this playbook gets to start over everybody.
I
And
don't
if
think
does,
he will. I mean,
Yeah.
because our guys have been doing a surprisingly great job. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
very good.
And
Mhm.
in this defense, listen again, I feel like last year's defense required
Yeah.
a lot from the
Who
middle
was the guy from
linebackers.
last year?
The coach, the
I could
defensive
not
coordinator.
stand him. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man,
Graham. Yeah, because
Graham,
towards
Patrick Graham.
because
He
the
was
touchdown before the
defender
half.
break. He
And I
was
also feel
defender
like
the
it
break.
just required a lot from the middle linebackers, and we didn't have the linebackers
Mhm.
that he wanted for that system. It was requiring too much out of them. In
Yeah.
this system, it's like, yo, we just need you guys to blitz, to hit, to guard running backs
Well,
off
they
the
don't even be
backfield.
blitzing like that. I like that it's a lot of fake blitzes. Actually,
It's a
like
lot
did
of
you
fake blitzes,
get to
drop
see
the curls, yeah.
and like Bobby Skinner posted a great clip of how the Julian Love got open on the
Oh
like
yeah,
the
I
one
remember
sack we
that.
had during the game.
Oh yeah, that's my
Yeah.
guy.
The clutch back?
It's a lot of fake blitzes, and it depends on our players
Yo,
being really
blitz.
smart and knowing how to read the offensive line as well. Because apparently that was one thing where it was like it was up to Love and O'Shane who was gonna rush. And so when Love rushed, and because the tackle was gonna set for O'Shane, you know, he got through and whatnot. It's a lot of that, and it's just like, man, this is next level thinking, yo. Or maybe it's just we've never seen it in a while, and that's why I'm saying it's next level thinking. But it's like very creative.
We got Wick Martindale. And I thought he was doing the TV, game shows too.
What's
that
up?
was a long time ago. There was a guy named Wick Martindale who used to do TV game shows.
Wow,
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
that's what he's named after. That's his nickname, where he got it.
Oh
Wink after-
really?
after
Oh,
the
I
show,
didn't
yeah.
know
Mhm.
that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he said that in an interview
But
that
he's
they
a
had
good
with him,
coach.
with the
I
Giants.
like this coach. He's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
man.
the one that finally got the fans to show up and show out. Like MetLife was loud. Like
Were you
MetLife
there,
hasn't been a
Nicholas?
loud stadium, I think, at any point during the past 10 years since it opened.
Not the new
Never.
one, yeah.
Yeah,
Nope.
exactly. MetLife, right?
Sunday?
And then now you finally got the organization buying into it as well. They had the blue towels, and now for this
Sunday?
Monday night game, they're doing the
Whiteout.
whiteout. They're telling all the fans to wear white jerseys so that when the opposing team looks at the stands, it's gonna be all white, and they're gonna
Right.
be loud again. Oh
What?
yeah, Diggy. Yeah, I was making a joke. Yeah, Jalen Smith has been with the Cowboys for a while, so it's not like we're gonna have any type of
Do you get?
knowledge advantage. What's up,
Do you
Bobby?
get? Do you
He
go to
he.
the game Sunday?
What's up?
You went to the game Sunday, did you?
No,
Which game are you going to?
I'm going to Chicago week 4, and then the
What is
Lions.
it? Yeah,
That's a
that's
good
the
game
game
to
I'm
go
going
to,
to.
Chicago, especially with the throwbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the
going to.
Lions is gonna be good too. You see the amount of
Yeah.
points they're putting up. That's gonna be a
No,
Yeah,
no,
nice
no, no,
test.
no, 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 no.
their
Oh yeah,
coach
I'm just
is
talking about
good.
literally just the homecoming
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like the jerseys.
You
Like
know
that.
who's
It's gonna be pretty dope.
who coaches that team now?
Who? Well, no, which team?
The Lions
The
Oh, it's
Lions. Dan Campbell,
former
former
Giant, former
Giants,
Giant.
former
and the
Giant tight
Dallas
end.
Cowgirls.
Yeah.
He's a good
Yo,
coach.
by the way, so tell me how
Yo,
you
shout out to
felt
El
about
Jefe in the
that.
chat too, man. I see Sedan Smith, Vets,
Hefe, what's
NYG31.
going on, brother?
Thank you everybody for showing up, man.
Hefe,
Go ahead.
Tell
Kush, how do you feel
Oklahoma.
about the game? Like, how did you feel about that Panthers game?
Well,
Yeah, great.
at the end, I was happy, of course, but throughout the entire game, it was biting my nails. The Panthers game, I said this about the first game. It's the same thing for the Panthers game. It's a game we played so many times over the past 5 years, but we lost. We came out and won in both of the games. It's just like, so because of that, I felt a lot like I did during the past 5 years. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, please don't lose. This is not going the way I wanted to, man. Well, like the defense is doing its job. Please don't get gassed out because the offense was going 3 and out or field goals most of the time. But we found a way to win it. So I didn't show it on stream because it wasn't like the missed field goal where you're scream when it happens. But when you finally realize victory formation, you're like,
Right.
it was relief, and it's like, oh.
Yeah,
And then
but
after the stream, I was like, we're 2-0. Wow,
who kicked the
Yeah,
field goal?
yeah.
Mr. Graham Gano.
And then like 2 years ago, who kicked the field goal?
Mr. Graham. They asked him that in the press conference. Somebody asked, what's his longest field goal? Was it that one? He was like, I shouldn't talk about that in Giants land.
63.
Yeah.
63, right?
Yeah, it was 63 yards against us.
No, I cried my eyes out. Our defense couldn't stop him. He went straight down the field. Boop.
It's and just a little bit before I get out of here, just want to preview a little bit about next week.
Get out of here, ready? You're
Yeah,
cool.
He
I
has
gotta
his
get
own
that
show
one.
starting soon, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have people on yours?
yeah. We do.
Oh, like you come on yours today?
Oh, like guests? No. So we plan it out. We plan it out before that. So if you hit me up on Twitter, hey, we would love to have you as a guest.
Okay,
So no worries.
put his Twitter in your thing.
He could put it in the chat right now.
You see,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay, put it in there now. No, okay,
right.
later.
That's the Twitter right there. BT Giants.
Okay.
So just real quick, it's look, Wink has been the hero, our hero for the past 2 weeks. But this is gonna be a crazy test. This is gonna be no starting corner, right? We've got Aaron Robinson has been out again. He's not gonna have Leonard Williams. He's not gonna have Aziz and KT again. Like,
No, I think they start on Monday.
We don't know yet.
I'm not gonna if Kayvon plays, I'll take it as a surprise. But right now, in my mind, he's not gonna go ahead and play, and it's just gonna be a crazy. Like, how much can Wink take? Wink is down so many starters. Can he still pull it off?
I think he can.
I hope so. I
think he's well, the other guy too.
Well, the offense has to step up at some point, and that's what it's going to come down to.
I hope.
Yeah, but Daniel won the game for us. He got the first down. Remember?
Yeah, but they have to step up more than field goals, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
step up more than putting up.
In the what's it, red zone?
Sounds like Winkin's the same situation as last year.
I was going to say, shout out to my man Engraven. He's
so
great
true.
Ravens and NFL content creator. I said when Wink came here, I was like, what I hope for the most is that he learned from mistakes he made in Baltimore when he was out of a lot of players. And it looks, knock on wood, touch red, that he has learned a little bit.
Well, I think
Engraven, but
I'm missing him right now.
Engraven, but you would know this. He was down last year in terms of cornerbacks. It was not even like the first or second stringers. Like, this
it was all the way down, right?
It was all the way to depletion. And he had to bring guys like off the streets, though. Like, we're not there yet. I'll tell you that much. We're not there yet.
So let me pop y'all both out then. Yo, thank you so much, Antonio, for coming in, man. Have a good one. And Bobby, let me get your last thought before I pop on the next guest right here, man.
Next guest.
We got Rob from Nerding Out Sports, man.
Can I say hello to I don't know him.
For sure. Guys, make sure you check out BT Giants.
You too, brother. I don't know this guy, I don't think.
Rob. There he is.
What's up,
What's
Bob? How
good,
you doing?
you're?
Do I know you?
I've met you before, Bobby. I've met
Where
you
you
before.
from? Where you
I'm from New York.
What
from
part
Brooklyn.
of New York?
Brooklyn.
I'm from the Bronx and Queens, and he's from Queens. Wow. Okay, my final thoughts. Monday night game, we are going to get 6 sacks. We're going to get 2 interceptions. Daniel Jones will run for a touchdown. He will pass for 4. And then we will win 28-10.
Jesus Christ. I hope you're right, Bobby.
I
No
don't
touchdowns
like
for Saquon?
What? Oh yeah, he'll get he'll get 2 running touchdowns. I mean, too. So we get more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
Gotta score like 40 points.
I would love to see that type of offensive production, Bobby.
Well,
Absolutely love to
I
see
don't
it.
think the Dallas Cowboys defense is that good.
I think they're still around the same that they were last year.
Well, hopefully they screw up this year.
We'll see.
And tell Big Play he shouldn't come on. He's an Eagles fan. The Eagles got lucky last night. I hate the Eagles. I was
hate the
cheering for
Eagles too, man.
Minnesota so hard last night. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Anything they get. And I believe the Ravens believe that game. They were up like 20 to nothing. Like
There was a lot of comeback wins in week 2.
the Jets even won Sunday. Are you proud of the Jets?
No, I don't really care about the Jets too
Well,
much.
that's my brother's team. You should be happy for my brother.
I didn't even know you had a brother.
Oh, you didn't know I had a brother? Okay,
Nah.
I have a cat too.
Well, Bobby, let me get you here, man.
One more time.
What's
you
up?
hear about Aaron Judge? He has 59 home runs now.
Hey, shout out and congratulations to Mr. Judge, then, man.
Yeah, and then boo out to Cashman because he didn't sign him for the year. So, knucklehead. Okay, nice to meet you there, buddy boy from Brooklyn. You're a good guy.
You too,
Have a
Bobby.
good one, Bobby. I love Bobby, man. Let me get some stuff from the chat here before I get to Rob. It's been a minute, my man. Let's see what's up. Herbert says, I think we've been hurt by the Giants too much to where we're afraid to put our full confidence in them. Going down from there, Sedan Smith says, I wouldn't want to be in Jones's shoes when the Giants lose their first game. You can't really, damn, there would be a lot of people taking a lot of flack, not just Jones, but I feel what you mean as a starting quarterback. Tommy says Jalen Smith can give us good production if he's in shape. Hefe was talking about the vibes in the stadium on Sunday were tense. Offense was frustrating, but they got it done again. 2-0. Engraven, of course, telling us that Wink is the main reason we're here, and I completely agree. Wink Martindale is definitely the main reason we're here right now. The official Rams 2022 champs. That's a long name. What up, man? How you doing? Romanov says, bring back OBJ. That's been something that's been going around Twitter as well. Do we think Thibs and Ojulari will come back? I don't know. There's not really any type of report to suggest so, bro. Like that they're coming back Monday. It's just a lot of fans wanting them to come back Monday. Like, correct me if I'm wrong on that, yo.
Yeah, I think if anyone has a chance to play, it's going to be Kayvon. I'm not too sure about Aziz.
Because he went from having his hamstring that we didn't even know what kind of hamstring thing it was, but we know it's an issue to something with his calves. And it's just like, I really hope it isn't what some fans have suggested, and that's that when you see a player put on a lot of muscle weight, all of a sudden they have these types of injuries, and it's like, it would suck, man. It would really suck, because I just want to see Aziz be great. And shout out to Ash in here. I didn't even know Ash was in it. What up, bro?
What's up, Ash?
But go ahead, Rob. Where you want to start with it, man?
Man, I want to talk about the quarterback. I want to talk about Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, because
Go ahead.
Ash had put that thing on Twitter yesterday, and Authentic circled how wide open Kadarius
that
Toney
went
was.
like semi-viral. The pocket that he had, and then the space that Tony had. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's frustrating to me because I want to like Daniel Jones. I want to root for the guy. My stance on him has always been, he's my quarterback until he's not. And I've seen the flashes. I've seen like the moments where I'm like, yeah, he could be the guy. And then I see the things that he does that's been plaguing him for 4 years. Like, get off of your first read and just try to scan the field. The pocket's clean. Throw the damn ball to the open receiver. And Bobby Skinner from Talking Giants, he put a video up earlier, 4 different times in that game where he just did not throw it to an open receiver. And he ran into a couple of sacks, and it was just it's frustrating because I think he's got the tools to be good, but I want to see the guy succeed in this offense because whoever our next quarterback is going to give me confidence that that guy will succeed too. So it's frustrating watching Daniel Jones make the same mistakes that's plaguing him for 4 years. I'm like, at some point, you got to get something going. So if he wants another contract elsewhere, he's got to ball out this year in some way.
Mm-hmm. So here's my question to you. Do you even want to sign this man back?
I think personally, if he has like a great year, I wouldn't mind bringing him back, but I don't see that happening. So I think the new regime, Shane and Dable, they want their own guy. So that's why they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. I just don't think you can bring him back because you haven't really seen enough to be like, yeah, bring him back. He hasn't done enough to me or for me yet to say, yeah, he's got to come back. I mean, if we end up going to the playoffs this year as a surprise and he's playing really well, then maybe you consider
Define really well.
Okay, take his rookie year numbers, right? And I guess put that over a 17-game season. So maybe he eclipses 4,000 yards. I don't know if he gets there at this point, but maybe he gets somewhere close. 25 to 30 touchdowns, limits the turnovers. First of all, I can live with interceptions. We watched Eli Manning throw picks left and right during his career. I can live with the interceptions if he's taking risks, but limit the fumbles and just start, I guess, making those second and third reads because we've seen it before where he makes a different read, like the Shepard play in week 1. He was able to like stare a safety off the play and get Shepard wide open. And it's like, why aren't you doing that more often? He would have to ball out and basically not lose us games. Like he's been playing really well in a late game situation so far.
I don't even know if I would describe it as really well. He's been making the right decisions in late in the game, and for the rest of the game, it's kind of mediocre quarterback play. Before I say more else, let me get a couple comments from the chat right here. I'll start off with Matthew Fernandez. He says, "What up, Kush? What up, Matthew? I really like the overall direction this team is headed. We are overperforming, but we still have a long way to go. But so far, I love Dabes and Wink. A small part of me wonders if we truly are overperforming, or if this is just what not good, but like elite coaching can do to personnel, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Once again, because that's really where most of our production is coming from. Like maybe we've just had like the worst coaching in the league for the past 5 years, which isn't a stretch, I'd say, which I don't think that's a overstatement to make. Next up, let's see. NYBSMM5 says, sorry, DJ ain't cut out to be the QB. It's been 4 years. That's rookie and second year mistakes. And he still is making some of those mistakes like you alluded to, Rob. Matthew says, DJ is not going to be our QB next year, but I'm rooting for the kid hard. Hope he proves me wrong. I'm rooting for the Giants, and by default, that means, yeah, I'm rooting for DJ. Every time he steps out on the field, he's my quarterback. Whether I like it or not, might as well root for him to go out there and have a good game. Do I think he's going to go out there and put up numbers like, let's say, that we saw Tua put up with the Dolphins this past weekend? Nah, I don't think I see that. But I hope that he's going to make some plays that help us win. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Jones ain't a franchise guy, sadly. He is solid, yes, but the Garoppolos, Tannehills, etc. don't get you a Super Bowl QB. You need a franchise leader. And there's a couple other comments here that I'm gonna have to get to later because I really want to directly respond. I'm sorry, Rob. Just restate the last thing you said so I could respond to it.
I was laughing at Diggy's comment because he made a Sopranos reference there. He said that Daniel Jones doesn't have the makings of a varsity athlete. So,
I think it was in reference to the contract or was it something else? Either way, I did have a follow-up question, and it was, has this coaching staff and front office earned your trust yet, or is it still too soon?
I'm willing to give them, like, I guess the full year, because so far Dable has done nothing to make me feel like this isn't going to end well. Because the fact that we're 2-0 after 6 years of being 0-1, 0-2 to start the season, I mean, he's doing something right. And he's sending out letters to the fans saying, "Hey, we're all white. You know, we're gonna have the towels waving and everything. Get loud." We didn't see that from Shermer. We didn't see that from Judge and all these different coaches. Joe Shane, I mean, he's made some questionable moves. Like I still don't understand the Logan Ryan cut, but it is what it is. I understand what they're doing in terms of a rebuild. It's a process. And this is something that Giants fans have been asking for a while, a front office that has a vision. They're not coming into the season saying, we're going to go to the playoffs. They knew it was going to be a process. The fact that we're 2-0, I think it's a surprise to a lot of people, and myself included, but it's also part of the process. If you can learn how to win these games in a very early stage, it gives these guys confidence moving forward that we can win, especially when this is the early stages of a whole new system. Offense, defense, everything. And we've won both games. Wasn't pretty, wasn't perfect, but that gives players confidence. So as a fan, it gives me confidence that in the next few weeks and down the line next year and the rest of the season next year and the year after that, that we can get back to being that perennial contender that we were in the early 2000s. When we first hired Coughlin, we were always a team that you looked at it saying they may not be a Super Bowl contender, but you can bet on them at least getting close to the playoffs or not making the playoffs. That's what I remember about that Coughlin era. Is they were always there. They were always a team to watch. You wanted to see what the Giants did. They were on primetime a lot. Now we got one primetime game, 2 primetime games this year. So
it's one. It's just that Thanksgiving is technically primetime because it's Thanksgiving.
Right. So I want to get back to that.
Oh, actually. Yeah. So then I got to restate my question and ask you. So then, have they done enough, or you still need more for them to earn your trust?
I trust them. I think they've so far so good. I trust them. Unless they just completely do a 180 and say, "Hey, we had a decent year. Let's go all in and sign a bunch of free agents." We don't really have the cap space to do that. But if they make some foolish moves to try to add players to big contracts and be like, "Hey, we can go win now," which was the same thing that got former regimes in trouble. So right now I have no reason not to trust them.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. I'm kind of in the same mindset as you right now. I think they've done enough so far to earn my trust. Obviously, we'll see if that changes as the year goes on. But the reason I even asked that question is because I'm like, with that being said, there's a lot of fans calling, even though I think it's not necessary. There's a lot of fans calling for Tyrod Taylor, and I'm like, we've won 2 games without Tyrod Taylor. And plus, in my opinion, he looked pretty bad in the preseason and in the offseason. Davis Webb looked like he should have been quarterback 2 to me. So if you want to call for anybody, you should call for Davis Webb, not for Tyrod Taylor. But that's just me. But it's like, there's a lot of fans that I feel like we need to be just a bit more happy. I'm not saying don't criticize Jones, because I criticize Jones. I still criticize Daniel. I was in agreement with everything that tweet was saying. This man, he continues. My biggest problem with Daniel Jones is that people don't realize this, but we actually provide him the offensive line. It's not the best at pass blocking, but they give him time. They give him time. I think there was another thing that almost went viral, which was pocket time, and Daniel was top 5 in quarterbacks this past weekend in week 2 in terms of pocket time. So guess what it comes back to, and something that's been a problem since his rookie year: decision making. He's always been a slow decision maker, whether that's just he takes too long to read the field, whether that's just his CPU doesn't process it like fast enough. Whatever the case is, I don't think that's something that you could necessarily fix. That's just how a guy reads the field. And the fact of the matter is, if we're giving him top 5 time in the pocket and he still can't hit receivers, that's a problem. That's a major problem. But with that being said, I'm like so torn, because I'm like, the half of me saying that and the other half of me is saying, Jesus, we're 2-0, yo. Let me just be happy right now. Like, where are you in that stance, Rob?
Diggy said it. You don't yank the quarterback when you're 2-0. You don't do it. And Daniel Jones hasn't played horribly enough to justify a benching. Like his last game, he was a game manager. And at this point, I think that's more than you can ask for, considering how bad he's looked in the past a couple of years. But I mean, I think the fact that we're 2-0 and fans are still finding things to complain about, I mean, that tells me a lot about the fan base, because like, be happy about something. Like, yeah, we can criticize the quarterback, because at the end of the day, that's how your offense is going to go. If your quarterback is playing well, you're going to score points. If he's struggling, you're not going to find the end zone a lot. You're going to settle for field goals like we had to do,
like we had
Sunday.
This week. Yeah.
So, but I just think we got to enjoy this right now, because we're feeling a way that we haven't felt in 6 years, man. We're 2-0. So yeah, we can find some things to nitpick at, but at the end of the day, we got 2 wins that nobody thought we were going to have. I think a lot of people projected the Giants to be like 1-2, or I'm sorry, are 1-1, 0-2 to start the season, and potentially 0-3 with Dallas coming up. And the fact that we're going into this game and people are like, "Oh, can the Giants go 3-0, 4-0?" Let's enjoy it. Let's hope that Daniel Jones can get better, at least somewhat, and help us win games. As long as he's not doing anything to lose us the game, there's no reason to take him out for Tyrod Taylor.
Let me get these couple more comments from the chat here. Raul Garcia says, got a question for you guys. Keep in mind that Jones is 25 years old. In this coming draft, which quarterback is better than he is? Just curious what your thoughts are. I'll always say it is. For drafted players, it's always about that potential and what they could be in the NFL. We don't know if they're going to translate directly, but there's a good amount of quarterbacks that look really, really good. All right, I'm not a huge college football guy until January. You guys notice. But you can't help, as a football fan on Twitter, for example, when you come across guys like C.J. Stroud that's been lighting it up, when you come across guys with the potential of an Anthony Richardson, like, these names are out there, and we'll see which name remains as the draft process goes on. But that's months from now, Raul. That's months from now. We 2-0. I would hope that this year is a year I don't have to start looking at the draft in October, and it looks like it might be, knock on wood, touch red. Let's see here. DJ needs to make the right decisions, and not only in the fourth quarter. You completely right. Scorpio Emperor King said, I said back in May the Giants will be 15-2. Now that's a hefty prediction. Danny Dimes and the team will continue to get better. See y'all at the top. I hope 15-2, bro. I hope so. 15-2, but that's really, really big. Let me scroll down here to catch up with the chat. Let's see. Just 1200 says, I just finally want to have that quarterback who's in the category of top 5 that other defenses fear. A QB that is consistently good, not an unpredictable guy every week. What's your thoughts on that, Rob?
I mean, he's spot on there because you don't know what you're going to get at a Daniel Jones. You can get game manager Daniel Jones that we saw Sunday. You can get the guy that throws multiple picks in big spots. Like he threw the big interception in the end zone in week 1 that could have cost us the game. Fortunately for us, it didn't. But you get too much, I guess, Jekyll and Hyde from him. Like, you just don't know what he's going to be for you every Sunday afternoon or Monday night in this case. You just hope that he's good enough to win you the game. But we've seen the cases where he's just playing horribly and he's doing nothing to help you win. Where even if you're down by a score in the fourth quarter, you're like, is he going to lead us down the field? And we've seen a lot where he doesn't do that. So I just want to see him be able to be the good Daniel Jones more than the bad, at least find some in between. And I think Sunday afternoon may have been the in between with him, where he's a game manager and he can use his legs a little bit more to generate some offense. But he did, Diggy. He almost threw that pick 6 at the end of the first half Sunday. So you're seeing it right there. He's making the mistakes still that can get him into trouble. So I guess find the middle ground between really, or not really good, but good and bad DJ. And if that was what we saw Sunday, then I'll take it because we're winning even with that.
Exactly. And then there's a pretty chilling comment here by NYBS. He says, we're off on DJ because we know what's coming. He's mediocre as a starter. The thing is, if any other team's 2-0, they'd be ranting and raving about the squad, but we got DJ. It's that fear, though, right? That's what it is. It's that fear that there's going to be a game where the defense can't pull through 100%. And then, it's just going to be the consequences of that level of QB play. I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon. Rob, I know it's been short, but we got a little bit of a line, man. Thank you so much for calling. It's been great to speak to you after a while. Guys, definitely check him out on Twitter and on YouTube at Nerding Out Sports, man. Any last thoughts before I pop you out, man? Dallas Hate Week, by the way. Dallas Hate Week, so maybe something towards that before you dip out.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on, man. It's always good to talk football, and it has been too long. Let's enjoy this. We're 2-0, and I'm not going to curse on your stream, but F Dallas.
Hey, feel free to. We already 30 minutes in, but I agree with the sentiment.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on, man.
Have a good one, bro. Next up, we got Josh Kalon from the chat, and then there's a little bit of a line here. I'm going to enjoy having everybody here pop on. Josh, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, Hub? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. So obviously, the big question is obviously the offense. To me personally, I think obviously new scheme, his third, Daniel Jones' third scheme. Obviously, I'm gonna give it 4 weeks to see how he looks throughout that time frame. And I don't know. It's just hard for me to really evaluate him. And the only bone that I really have to pick with the coaching staff is throwing out 3 wide receivers as Richie James, Darius Slayton, and David Sills when you have Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay at like your probably 1 and 2 receivers. And I just think we need to see like maybe a full drive or a full series of him with those receivers in and see what he can do. I don't know. He just really hasn't. He looked mediocre. That's all I can really say.
Well, the one thing I'll ask with you on the receivers, I asked the same question to Rob. You were in the back, so you heard it. Do you trust the coaching staff yet, or do they still need to do more for you?
I do trust them. Like obviously, like the last two coaches didn't bring us to being 2-0.
Exactly. Yeah.
But but like that's the only thing that I have to pick with this coaching staff
Yeah.
is throwing out these like
That's
big
because I was
bag
gonna
back
lead and
end
say,
wide
I'm
receivers.
like, if we trust them, and because I also listen, I'm just like you guys. I'm a fan at the end of the day. I'm also scratching my head as to what's going on with Ken Galladay and
Exactly.
Kadarius Toney. But then I said to myself today, I'm like, I had so many questions about this defense and the fact that we cut Blake Martinez and we had to cut James Bradbury, albeit some of that was for cap. I was just like, this personnel ain't gonna work out. It worked out. Now we're not starting Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney. Well, he looked like he got more chances this past weekend. We obviously saw that Daniel missed them on a couple of throws, but I'm just like, maybe I should just trust what Dayball is doing with whatever is going on with Kenny Galladay, because that's the weirder situation. Our 27, not 27, our $72 million wide receiver was
On the
straight up
bench.
bench for David Sills. So and I'm like, I'm not gonna stress my head trying to figure out what's going on with it. If we were like 0-2, maybe then I'd
Yeah,
be like, what is
exactly.
Brian Dayball doing? Like, remember that one season Joe Judge went in with like 4 wide receivers on the depth chart? Like, I would have been like, I don't know what's going on. But when it comes to the receivers and providing all the weapons for DJ, I kind of agree with you a little bit. Yeah, he's never had that full arsenal, but at the same time, that can be looked at as an indictment on him because it's like he needs the full arsenal for him to do
Which
something.
which it
Right? Do you get
sucks.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, which sucks because last year they were always injured and we never got to see it. And they're all healthy and we still aren't seeing it, which is very frustrating. As someone, I like the Kenny Galladay signing. I thought it would be a
No,
big, it would
everybody
have,
liked the Kenny Galladay signing.
yeah,
We just didn't
I
know it would turn out the way it would turn out.
yeah, and it's just like you have Daniel Bellinger, who's mainly a blocker in this offense, and he has a touchdown before Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney, who's been in the offense for a whole year already, and it's just very frustrating to not see them out there.
Well, been on the team for a year, been on the offense just as long as everybody
Oh,
else.
well, exactly. Yeah, on the team for a year. And I don't know. That's literally the only bone that I have to pick with the offense. I mean, with the coaching staff. Um, yeah, that's really it. I don't really
Well, no, that's a very fair one to say. Ash says the defense is different than the offense, though, referring to my personnel comment. The defense depends on the offense. We've seen what can happen to good defenses when our offense can't sustain drives. That's very true. We saw it in 2017. Defense got tired out. That was the same defense in 2016. Was not nearly as good. I think we saw it last year as well. It was the same defense in 2021. We did have an injury here and there, and listen, not to defend that defense too much because they did a bad job when it came to game to like right before the half, always lining up a touchdown.
yeah.
But you need your offense to be on the field and score some points to help out the defense. That's definitely true.
And you
Diggy
saw
says
what
maybe.
happened.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
What were you gonna
Oh, I'm
say?
sorry. I said, and you saw what happened at the end of that Raiders game. That bend don't break.
Oh my God, we actually have a bend don't break that does work this time. Diggy
Exactly.
said maybe after they evaluated DJ's strengths, they saw that he couldn't throw contested catches. What do you think about that? Because we know the Galladay is specifically a contested catch wide receiver, but
Yeah.
but I don't know if I would say that's the reason to have him sit out though, Diggy, because it's not like he could only catch that specific ball. Have him out there, throw
You could
throw him
use him.
something.
You could use him like on quick little slant routes, dig routes, like anything. Like he's a big body. Like it's not all of his catches will be contested catches. I still think he could create separation on short little routes that like that are horizontal that could get him up the field. But having him out there is just still a threat. Like you have like if he somehow some way does burn a cornerback, which rarely happens, but if he somehow does and you throw it to him, he could be wide open or now they're going to force a safety over the top. Like just having him out there I think is more of a threat than having uh got put to the practice squad 2 years in a row. David Sills. Like
Hmm.
I don't really see what the benefit is with David Sills
Let
over
me
Kenny
ask you this
Galladay.
though, because I kind of want to go to focus on Dallas now, right? So they're missing Dak Prescott. Obviously, they got their backup Cooper Rush in there. They won with their backup Cooper Rush in there. What are you expecting for this Dallas game
Um, I expect Micah Parsons to do his routine thing.
against
Prob-
our tackles?
Evan Neal. I think he's going to be lined up on Evan Neal more than
They're definitely gonna line him
Andrew
up
Thomas.
on Neil Moore. Andrew Thomas is playing like lights out right now. The dude has the best offensive line grade across the board in the league. He's ranked as the #1 O lineman in the league right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely incredible.
love that man. Yeah, and I just think they're gonna. Honestly, I have the faith in our defense, especially if we could get Kayvon or Aziz back, which I think we might. I think Thibodeau will probably play before Aziz because I haven't been hearing much about Aziz's calf injury.
Hmm.
But I do think Thibodeau even said that he was closer. He feels almost 100%. I do think this is the week he comes back and plays. But it sucks because now we don't have Leonard Williams to fill the middle and get the pass rush through the middle and the outside. Um, I don't think Aaron Robinson's not going to play. Not going to play this week. You think or no? Or he is?
I think Aaron Robinson is out for this week.
All right, so I think we're probably gonna go with Flott again, maybe. And if he has like another series where he gets like picked on, I think they'll do the switch. What McMartindale did it last game, where he switched to I forgot what's his name, Monroe, I think
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, yeah.
Fabian Moreau. I can't
They
remember
went
how to
to
pronounce
him.
his last name.
They went to him after they started picking on Flott, which I think was a good adjustment as well. I think it's going to be another defensive game. This upcoming Monday. I
Yeah,
really don't see this.
unless our offense steps up, then yeah, I'm expecting it to
I
be a
don't.
defensive
I
game too.
really don't.
Because I
Like,
don't like the Cowboys' offense doesn't look good at all. I don't. The Cowboys' offense looks
yeah,
anemic
and
to
I
me.
don't think I just don't think they weren't under that much pressure, as much that we are able to generate. I don't know how. I think yeah, they're still missing some of their old linemen, and I just don't think the Bengals weren't really sending that much pressure at him, so he was just able to make easy decisions.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a pretty good take on it. Shout out to Richard, man. He says he's been watching the Giants for years. 66-year-old man. Hey, that's a loyal fan right there, bro. I hope we get to another Super Bowl win in your time, my man. In terms of Michael Parsons, though, yeah, they're going to definitely line this man up against Evan Neal. He's obviously the rookie tackle, the
Yeah,
less experienced one. Who plays opposite of Micah? Who's the other edge rusher? Is it still, what's his name? I can't remember his name, man.
Lawrence. Yes.
DeMarcus Lawrence. It's still D-Law?
Yeah.
You know
And
what?
then
I
on the
think
other
Andrew Thomas can handle D-Law.
100%. Number
Yeah,
one tackle in the league. What do you think?
exactly, bro. I'm not scared of that. Listen, the up the middle though, they gonna get us. They gonna get us up the
Yeah.
middle for sure. The interior
We're
line needs
especially
to
that
improve so much.
we're switching two left guards. They're gonna definitely. I think they're gonna attack. I don't even know. Like, would you attack the left side with Andrew Thomas, like there, just through the middle,
Well,
or
that
would you
has
just
been. I'm
continue
pretty
sending
sure
more
that's been
pressure
the
to the
weaker
right?
side. I know Glowinski didn't have a great game, but yeah, it's been left guard and centers where they've been coming up at for the most part.
He, Walensky's good in the run game. I don't think he's really that. I think he's about average in the pass game.
I
But
bet. All right, then
uh,
let me get your last thoughts, man. Got a little bit of a pack line here, bro.
I
Let
had a
me get you.
question, but
Go
I
ahead. Go
forgot.
ahead.
I forgot the question.
Oh,
Damn.
can you remember it soon?
I'll try. Um, I'll text in chat. I'll type in chat.
Okay. All right, then, Josh. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Be safe, man.
Peace. Next up, let me get Brooklyn Hit Squad on here. What up, Hit Squad? How you doing, bro? Is your mic there? Brook Hit Squad? I'm gonna get you back on later. Next up, we got Alex from Big Blue in the Bronx. Alex, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, Kush?
What's up, bro? Y'all need to give this man some love. Cause I wouldn't have been at training camp if Alex didn't give me some tickets. And guess what? I was thinking today. I'm like, Alex, we gotta do that again next year. I have to get tickets from you and go to specifically 2 training camps next year because we're 2-0 right now. So I think something might have
Yes.
happened. So
Yeah, man. I mean, it was great going to training camp, but overall, man, I remember I came on last year in week 1, right?
yeah,
And we were talking about the loss, and my main focus was like the defense, man. Our offense was okay. They had some execution issues, but the defense, like it was too. Bradbury was getting beat. Everybody was getting beat over the middle. And then I come on now, and it's kind of a different story, even though I'm still wearing the white shirt. By the way, white out Monday Night Football, so
yeah, yeah.
I guess that's why it plays into that. But man, I think one of the things that I kind of want to come out here and say, and I've been saying this on a lot of podcasts that I've been on, whatever, is that Wink is doing a far better job with his crew right now than Patrick Graham did last year.
Quick question: who do you think had the more stripped down crew between the two in terms of injuries?
This crew, in my
All that.
opinion.
This one, right? Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
you got no 2 edge rushers. Now you have Leo out for like 3 weeks. Aaron Robinson with the appendicitis, and you had Dane Belton out a week. You don't have a full strength linebacking core. So listen, and I know it's 2 weeks against 2 terrible quarterbacks. But I think right now, as of right now, and you have to base it off the results, no matter who you face, he's doing better with his guys than Patrick Graham, because Patrick Graham last year, we got the excuses, whatever. I know people were defending Patrick Graham, whatever, and I was flip floppy on him last year because the team was losing and we were frustrated that, oh, well, he didn't have edge rushers, they couldn't get home. Well, guess what? Our inside linebacking core is Austin Calitro and all these other guys. And then, um, once again, shouts to Wink this week. I mean, instead of putting linebackers in terrible positions against Christian McCaffrey, what does he do? He gets the 3 safety set.
I
And
love
he
the
only
fact
kept
that
his
he had McKinney on McCaffrey for like majority of the game. I feel like McKinney's the only good dude that could have stuck with him.
right. No, I definitely agree. And I think Dane Belton had a quiet but productive game. I texted
Even
his dad.
Cordell Flott had a better game than I expected because I really think he's a super developmental player, and like I didn't have to necessarily call his name too much, So I'm like, all right, that's good.
Yeah, I texted Dane Belton's dad on Twitter and complimented him.
Word?
And I followed him. He followed me back, so I said, "Congratulations on your son's first game and his first fumble recovery." He said, "Thank you." But in terms of Flott, though, um, I think. Listen, I know people are a little bit, too worried about him. It was his first game. He was matched up against DJ Moore, and they didn't pick on him till the second half. Like they, 2 throws went his way in the first half, and then they just moved off of that, which I think was a problem for the Panthers. But hey, listen, they lost the game. That's on them. But then, in the second half, they picked it up, and then, if Aaron Robinson's out this week, I think they're going to stick with Fabian Moreau, the veteran. He wasn't that bad, actually. On that big run that McCaffrey had, he was the one that tackled McCaffrey and, basically saved it from being a touchdown. Also, something as well with this coaching staff is we've been talking for so many years. The Cardinals guys and all these other, veterans that come in, and we finally get a guy in Jihad Ward who's a scheme-based guy, a veteran, and he's
Jihad
actually
Ward
doing his
is doing
job.
so much better than I expected. I want to say than a lot of Giants fans expected, man.
I thought he was just going to be some vet run over guy. Okay, he's going to play this many snaps and do whatever, but he might be, now he hasn't had a sack yet or anything like that, but he might be having his best career year just to start 2 games. And once again, he's going to have his bad games, whatever. Um, but yeah, that's what I got to say on that. In terms of the D line, I mean, listen, I know everybody's going to come out here. Oh, we only have 3 sacks on the season, whatever. I thought we put the pressure pretty good on Baker Mayfield. Sending the DBs of the DB blitzes. I just love that McKinney was coming from the backside. Same thing can be said for Darnay Holmes, who had a hit on Mayfield, and then Julian Love with the sack. He might be a guy, in my opinion, if this coaching staff stays true, give a second contract out to.
I want to say one thing real quick. Shout out to Diggy for letting me know. He said that McKinney only guarded C-Mac one-on-one like 2 times. I stand corrected then. And I'm a little bit more impressed because once again, I don't think Christian McCaffrey had like that one big run. Like he had a good day, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he necessarily beat us. You know, we didn't necessarily contain him either. So then if McKinney was the one on him and our defense as a whole just did their job, then I'm even a little bit more impressed. But with Jihad Ward too, they're using him on the inside, bro. They're using him on the outside. I feel like he's gonna be way more involved even when Aziz and Tibbs come back. You know what I mean? What do you think about that? Or you think he'll shift back a little bit? And same thing goes for O'Shane. Do you think he'll still be as involved, or do you think Aziz and Tibbs are really gonna come back and just take those roles?
Yeah, I kind of have to eat my crow on O'Shane Ximines. I mean, I think all of us Giant fans, including myself, thought he was a bum coming in. He's shown to be a better pure pass rusher, and I think he's still going to be a specialist now. When some other guys come back, I don't know. Now that also pops the question: what are we going to do with Ellerson Smith? Because O'Shane Ximines is so good, and then you got Aziz and you got Tibbs. Ellerson Smith is pretty much
I just
almost a
want to
Sam
know,
Beal.
and you've heard me say this before. Why is everybody so enamored with Ellerson Smith, man?
I
We
thought he
haven't
was
even seen the
overhyped.
guy play yet.
I thought he was overhyped, and then what was it at FanFest? He was getting shoved back by Evan Neal on the one run play. Yeah, it's training camp and all that stuff, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a Sam Beal pick where it's a mid-round pick. The guy barely plays, and we got guys steps ahead of him that are doing well. Like Tamon Fox is doing well. I mean, he'll probably be inactive. Um, but in terms of Jihad Ward, I think he's going to be playing a little interior now that Leonard Williams is injured. And I think now maybe this is just an educated guess. I think the Giants are trying to get pass rushing inside linebackers. And Jalen Smith, they just signed to the practice squad. They got Joe Schobert. So I think that's the route they're trying to do now that Leonard Williams is going to be off the next 3 weeks. And
Hmm.
they're also getting Tibbs and Aziz back, which is good.
Do we
Um,
know? Like, can I get where you got that from? Because I want to know for sure who said that we're getting
said
Tibbs and
what?
Aziz back.
Well, eventually down the line. I don't know
Okay,
if
no,
they're
because
going
I'm
to
like
come
I didn't
back.
see anything that said that they're gonna be back this week.
Yeah, I mean, if I would put a timetable on it, I'd probably say Tibbs before Aziz, and uh, you know, I want them to come back at the same time, healthy 100%. But when they do come back and Leo's still going to be out, they're probably going to be using Jihad Ward and some of these
Yeah,
inside
Leo has the
linebackers.
same thing that Kayvon had, right? So he would be out for what, like 4 weeks at least, or is it less than that?
I think the timetable for a sprained MCL is 2 to 4.
Okay, so
So
I don't know, man. I don't want my guys to get injured. I might tell them to take that 4 and be safe.
yeah, I mean, listen, whenever they feel 100%, yes, we're winning, but at the same time, this is a product that's supposed to go, beyond this year. We're not winning it all this year. We're far beyond that, or I should say, we're far behind that. Um, Let me ask you a question. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, I do want to address the Daniel Jones point a little bit, but I want to ask you this first. Are you just generally concerned about the production of wide receivers? Like that not just the fact that we're having James and Sills in front, but like behind them, there's nothing. Or do you think that's just the offense is trying to cater to Barkley?
Well, if James and Sills are in front, doesn't that mean behind them there is something, and that's the guys that should be starting? Or are you saying like, because that's the way I look at it, behind them are those guys right now, which is kind of
Yeah.
weird.
I'm sort of mixed on all of this, to be fair, because like Galladay is pretty much that whole talking point is a minced meat. I don't think there's much to it. Now, Kadarius Toney, that's one thing I'll pick on the coaching staff for. This week, coming up against Dallas, David Sills is not going to help you in the quick game. Richie James, he's a quick receiver. He's
We
been
need
nice for
Tony
the
to do
Giants.
what he did to them last year.
Yes, that is my point. They got to do that. Listen, you're going to have beasts coming off the edge. This is one of the tougher and I know a lot of people like to beat down Dallas. And listen, the fans can overlook the team. The team can't themselves. But for me, I think this is one of the defenses that we have to be afraid against. Now, the interior, I'm not so concerned about, but our interior isn't actually playing well. In terms of the ends, like Evan Neal's going to be going up against Parsons. He's not going to be going up against Dorrance Armstrong. I'm
Yeah.
not concerned about Andrew Thomas, but at the same time, I think their linebackers were all over the field the last game. So you'll probably see Van Der Esch come up the middle, and even them try to stack the box. So, for
And
instance,
real
if
quick,
they
just to read a comment here that kind of relates to what you're saying, I saw it for a while now. Inef says Evan Neal needs to be ready for Parsons. I'm sure they will swing Bellinger to whichever side he's on, or motion the tight end to the side Parsons is on, or chip with a running back or wide receiver. Basically saying that Evan Neal is going to need some help. I don't know, maybe I'm a little overconfident, but if it's one-on-one Parsons versus Thomas, I'm confident Thomas could hold his own for most of the game. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, no, leave Thomas. Save that tight end to the right side with Evan Neal, whether he's going up against Demarcus Lawrence or Micah Parsons. You save that tight end, you chip that guy. I'm also a little weirded out, and the Giants have been doing this for years now, really since Andrew Thomas came in the league, that they're not running to his side. Like the Saquon Barkley big run, that was to Andrew Thomas's side and Josh Azudu's side as well. So I'm a little weirded out that they're not running to his side, and the strong side, that's definitely not the right side. So I don't know. Hopefully they figure it out sometime soon. But what I was saying before is they're going to stack the box. It's going to be, and I hate to say this, but it's going to be the same thing as 2019, where opponents stack the box. They're not scared of our wide receivers. They know Saquon's a threat. They're not scared of Daniel Jones. So what they need to do is set up some sort of quick game, not these bogus ass screens. Not because Tony had 2 catches for 0 yards last game. That's not production. I don't care what anyone says. So they need to factor him in the quick game. Now, quickly before, because I know you got a whole line of callers in. Are you concerned about the interior
Of the O
to an
line?
extent?
Of course. Yes. I'm 100% concerned about our interior. The line looks not at all how I expected it to look, man. At least the tackles are on pace for what I thought they were going to be, but the interior looks like definitely a lot worse than I thought it was going to look. I didn't expect Ben Bredesen I'm not surprised by. Josh Azudo I expected to be a little bit better. I was one of the only people that wasn't sold on John Feliciano on the inside, and while he does a good job in run blocking, he's not that good in pass block. Like most of our interior is not that good with pass blocking. And then I'm surprised. I thought Glowinski was gonna be better than what we're seeing as well. It's just like as a whole, I am concerned about the interior. Shout out to Joseph Clark for the $2 super chat. Thanks so much for the support. He says maybe we were wrong about Ellerson like O'Shane. Well, for all the Ellerson Smith fans, I don't know how y'all are feeling right now. It's kind of like a couple years before when a lot of people were high on Carter Coughlin. I'm like, why is everybody high on this dude? I don't see it. We'll see though. It's always nice to have some good depth. Referring to the quick game, like you were saying, Joseph also says when Tony's on the field, Jones must look at him first. Period. Those wide receivers aren't playmakers. Tony is a playmaker. Go ahead though. You were gonna say something else, I believe, or was that it?
Yeah. I know you were talking before about Daniel Jones and the whole winning thing. Listen, I don't think I have, as I said on another podcast, I'm split down the middle. I'm not overly complaining at all, but 50% of me says, okay, Daniel Jones needs to actually hit his guys like he wasn't doing in the Carolina game. He needs to push the ball down the field more. And at the same time, my other 50% says, okay, I'm not going to complain too much because at the end, he's not really losing us the game, and we're 2-0. And he's not going to be here after this year, whether you think there's quarterbacks out there or not.
I'm exactly where you are right now, yeah.
But I listen, it's fair to critique Daniel Jones, but at the end of the day, we're 2-0. That's
where I am. Just with you, I'm like right down the middle right now because I see the fact that this man is missing wide receivers open. I see the fact that, let's be honest, he's not losing us the game, but at the same time, he's not necessarily winning us the game either. You know what I'm saying? That 4th down conversion is key, yes, but a quarterback that wins you the game, we're probably ahead by, we probably have 14 instead of 6 points on those turnovers, is I guess what I'm trying to lead towards. But then the other part of me is like, damn, we 2-0. Maybe I should just be happy about, we 2-0, right? And it goes back to what Diggy was saying earlier. You don't yank the quarterback if you're 2-0. So I'm like, just leave it as is, like a delicate house of cards or something.
I mean, I'll say 2 things. That first thing is, unless he's Nathan Peterman, he's not getting yanked for Taylor. Unless he's seriously hindering the offensive production, he's not getting yanked. And Taylor ain't that much better. Obviously, in the preseason, he wasn't very good. And like the most touchdowns he's thrown in the season is 22. or 24 maybe, but that was how many years ago with the Buffalo Bills. So he's not going to throw that many. And even then, the offense is probably still going to be catered around Saquon Barkley. And got a little fun fact / question. What do you think is Daniel Jones's passer rating? And there's two separate questions. What do you think Daniel Jones's passer rating is in the vicinity? You don't have to be too specific, but just like 60, 50,
Is
40,
passer rating the
80,
one that's
whatever.
0 to 150 something? Or is that QBR?
In that range, yes. What do you think it is when the game is tied and when the game is in the Giants' favor, when they're leading?
Ah,
If you had to
wow.
take a general guess.
When the game is tied, for some reason, I want to say it's higher. And then when we're in the lead, I
Okay,
don't know if
so
I could give a range, but I guess I'd go with something like that.
okay, all right.
The only reason I
And
say
that
that is
full
because the game gets tied up, and then it's like all of a sudden no, the game gets tied and we take the lead, and then it's like our offense can't run anymore, and then the other team ties it up. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so and that full incriminator, both of you guys are wrong. It's around the 60 range, 60,
For
62,
both,
66. For both when it's tied and when the Giants are in the lead. Now, let me
that's
ask a
kind of
different
funny.
question. When the Giants are behind, what is his passer rating? What do you think it is?
Does it just jump up tremendously? To
Uh-huh.
like, it jumps up tremendously. I'm guessing, yeah.
126.
126. Jesus Christ.
So
That's such a difference, and I wonder what it is.
I don't want to sit here because he's an athlete and he's obviously in his position and he heads the team kind of. I feel like there's like what, no urgency there when the team is tied and as you were saying before with I think it was Rob, he's not going to go with 6 touchdowns against Miami. So I guess maybe it's a limitation with Jones in terms of a mindset. I guess you're not going to see Daniel Jones go up by 2 scores. We've never seen that. And I don't think we will. But those are some just fun factoids I thought I would throw out there.
Nah, that's definitely interesting. I don't know why there's such a big difference for it as well, though, man. But Alex, thank you so much for calling in, guys. You see him, you know him. You better check him out. Not only Giants fan, but Yankees fan, has content for both of them, and of course, he runs a channel with his brother Luca. Jets fan. If you want to support the little brother, go ahead and do over that, man. Alex, have a good one, bro.
Peace, hub.
Let me get just a shout out. I don't know if I'll have time to read y'all comments, but shout out to Griminator in here, Nova Nebula, General Schwarzkopf. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and everybody else for tuning in. Next up, I got Manny, then Mac, then Wolves, then Jean. Manny, I know that Antonio was supposed to be here, but Manny, you still there?
I'm here, bro. Can you hear me? How
Yeah. I'm guessing Antonio had to dip out.
Yeah, no, it's all good. He said I got it, man. He wanted me to send his love. Appreciate you. How you doing, man?
Of course. How you doing, man? How's the 2-0 feeling going?
It feels good. I'm not trying to get like real high about it or anything because it's just 2-0, and I mean we've seen teams go from 2-0, and then that's the only games that
Well,
they
the
win.
Panthers started out 3-0 last year, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember Jacksonville one year won their first game against the Colts when they first had Phillip Rivers, and everyone was losing their mind, like, oh, can the Jacksonville Jaguars do something? And that was when like Gardner Minshew's second season, so everyone was high on Minshew at that point. And then they lost like the next games after that up until the final game of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see that they're winning. Nothing else. I mean, I'm excited to see the coaching staff. We've been saying for a long time since Kaufman was out the door that his coaching staff just wasn't good enough, wasn't helping, wasn't doing the players any favors. And I mean, I think Wink is a dog. I think he's a gangster. What he's been able to do, not just being aggressive, obviously the third downs are amazing, but it's also like he's being smart as well. Like, first game, we're going to have big bodies on Derrick Henry and stop him. And then second game, we're going to have safeties on CMC and limit him. It's been real encouraging to see that as well, like the aggressiveness, but also that he's real smart and intelligent. And, it's just been exciting to see, some Giants football finally be presentable and watchable.
Now, I want to ask something because I've been giving a whole lot of praise to Wink, as he should receive a whole lot of praise to Wink. Let me ask you about Mike Kafka. Kind of coming off, especially that little thing that Alex just stated with the difference in QBRs. I see some people in the chat saying that could be a result of play calling. And I definitely do question Mike Kafka's play calling sometimes, especially when it's like it looks like in the first half, it makes me question a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just like, what is he doing at times? But then in the
Right.
second half, it's like a completely different feel. What do you feel with Mike Kafka's play calling?
I mean, I think honestly, when Bobby Skinner, shout out Bobby Skinner, talking Giants first world, when he posted those 4 missed plays by Jones, it was hard. At that point, it's really hard for me to like. I really put it on Jones's foot, and I'm not even trying to like say, I guess we're getting right. I'm not even trying to say anything negative about Daniel Jones at this point because everyone's already said enough. And I'm kind of at the mindset right now that he's just holding his feet for 15 games until we draft the quarterback. But yeah, I don't. But he hasn't really, and I'm not trying to be negative about him, but he hasn't played well enough for me to start blaming the coaches. Mike Kafka drew up plays I was going to give David Stills a touchdown. I'm not going to blame Matt Costa for that. I'm not going to blame the coaching staff for that. That's on DJ. He needs to read the field better. And yeah, he just needs to be better at. I think he's still used to having like a bad line. I know this whole line isn't great. Hey, my guy Feliciano isn't doing his thing. I understand, but we have really 2 good left tackles. We have really 2 real good tackles. One of them, I think, is going to eventually be at the very least top 5 tackle in the NFL by the season's over. So he has a better line, and he just isn't giving himself that time to develop and actually see the field. And I don't think it's said for us to say it and watch the film and be like he needs to be better. It is easier for us to say that, but you got to think he's watching this film as well, and they're telling him the same thing coming up to Bucktown this week.
Yeah, no, shout out to Cletus. Cletus says he got to be up early. Thank you for popping in and showing your support. Cletus Griminator says the play calling in the first 2 offensive drives versus the Panthers was very suspect by Kafka. Dable, you see him, even though we have 2 wins, these past 2 games, he's been red in the face, screaming on the sideline a lot, yo. And I feel like one thing they are being truthful with in the press conference, because coaches would lie. I feel like one thing they're definitely being truthful with is when Dable says they need to execute better on offense, because that's the only time I'll be seeing him real angry on the sideline.
Yeah, you know what? I will say that too as well. Like I'll agree to what the red zone plays could have been a lot better when they got those 2 turnovers back to back. It could have been a lot better. I'll give him that for sure. But even with that being said, I mean, Daniel Jones could have, if he could have had 4 or more touchdown passes this game. David Fields was open on one. Kadarius Topin was open, and we know the magic he can do. Sterling Shepard was open in the goal line. And I even saw Daniel Bellinger open at one point as well in the end zone in the plays. And I get it. It's easier for us to say it as fans, but you got to think again that the coaching staff is getting on him with that. Imagine what Dayball does behind closed doors.
Well, I gotta ask you this, and this is something I asked earlier too, where it's just like, is that something reading the field quicker and processing? I don't think that's something you can necessarily change about someone. Because that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I mean, I think with better coaching, you can start anticipating it a little better and start seeing it. I think it can help a little bit, but I think that ultimately you're right. It's about vision. If you have vision, it's not going to get better. Especially with all that pressure. I think he's starting to feel a little bit of the pressure as well. And obviously he's human, but I think he's starting to feel the pressure knowing like, man, at the very least, I got 50 more games of being an NFL quarterback, of being an athlete for a living. And maybe he started to think about it and being pressured too much. Ultimately, I want this man to succeed. I would love Daniel Jones to be the dude and then I would love that. That'd be awesome. But I mean, it's an uphill battle for him, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But getting off the Daniel Jones topic for a second, I didn't even have a chance to speak with you, I believe, after we were 1-0, man. How are you feeling that we're 2-0 with a legit chance to go 3-0? And, let's not look ahead for now, but it's looking good.
4-0. My wife, shout out my wife. The first game, I was watching it in the kitchen. Daughter was in the kitchen as well, drawing up something. And I was just watching right after we got the 2-point conversion. I just wasn't even trying to get excited because Giants fans this has been like a bad rerun over again. I was like, just wait. So when they started going down the field, penalty here, catch here, penalty here, catch here, big catch, big game, kneel down, going to kick. My wife just kept saying, he's gonna like that. He's gonna miss it. He's gonna miss it. When he missed it, we both jumped in the air, and she's not even a huge Giants fan at all. She's not a football fan at all. That was fun. it's been fun watching the Giants. It's been fun to be able to say, like, hey, we won the game. We have some competency as coaching staff. We actually have something to look forward to. We're doing all this without having a productive quarterback right now, without having our wide receivers do their thing, without our two edge rushers, specifically one that we think could be generational, start playing. I'm really excited for the future of this team, regardless of what happens this season. I'm excited for the future and for what they're building right now with pretty much lunch money funds in the cap and a lot of guys who were brought in by the old regime that probably isn't a good fit for the new regime system.
And let me ask you, looking forward to Dallas now, what you think is gonna happen?
The what, I'm sorry?
To Dallas.
Ooh, yeah, Dallas. Listen, if Daniel Jones can outgun Cooper Rush, if he can't beat Cooper Rush in a dual game, if he can't do that, what are we talking about? That's it. That would be it. I'm not saying that you have a game from after that, but I'm expecting the Giants to go 3-0. I'm expecting the Giants to win this game. I get Michael Parsons is legit. I get the offense. Zeke looking a little better, but to me that O line isn't as good as it used to be. Zach Martin is the only consistency on that O line right now. The weapons outside of CeeDee Lamb, who's a second and third guy. There's a good chance they may not have. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm not sure. Dalton Schultz would be the second
Well,
guy, right?
And he might not play.
I didn't even know he might not play. Yeah.
He got an injury that was pretty similar to the one that kept Zeke Elliott out in 2020 for one game.
Mhm.
So unless he, who knows what can happen, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to play this game. So they're down that already. Already down Dak, like we mentioned. The O line is suspect, like we mentioned. The defense is great, but the second and third and fourth quarterbacks aren't to ride a home route. The safety's not great safety play. Outside of Michael Parsons, the linebackers don't scare you, and the interior D line on this team isn't scary either. So I'm expecting the Giants to win this game. I know that the Giants maybe put talent to talent. The Cowboys are better, but I'm comfortable saying Jalen Jones is better than Cooper Rush. And if Cooper Rush ends up making a fool out of me, then we don't even need to discuss Daniel Jones' future anymore. We need to discuss the next guy.
All right. When you say outduel, though, you're going like hit for hit, throw for throw, is what you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
so then if Daniel has a better game, but God forbid we lose, what are you doing?
I need to see it, but to be honest, I don't even see that. I don't like. What would be the like? Daniel Jones has a better game, but then the defense has already stopped Derrick Henry, who's the best running back in the league as of right now. I know he's been kind of sluggish this last game, but hey, as of it's 2 games in. CMC, when he's healthy, has been
Saquon is currently still leads the league in rushing, which is crazy to think about.
There we go. I'm saying, I think the Giants, if they've had great run games already this season versus those 2 running backs, they can do it to Zeke. I think they've shown the capability at this point, and I think there's a very good chance we're going to get one of those edge rushers. That's only going to help. I think the Howard is going to be great in the run game versus any of these guys, whether it's Pollard or Zeke. I think getting Jalen Smith low-key was a good move because last year he played very well in the moments he was playing, and I think putting him next to a Tay Crowder is only going to help Tay Crowder as well too. And I really am excited to see Julian Love. Shout out Julian Love if I can. That man needs to be given a little more love than what he's shown. I think a lot of us take him for granted. I mean, this man played every snap on the defense. He played 68% of the snaps on the special teams as well. He had the game saved. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I'm one of the only people that has been showing Julian Love love. Because I was one of the only dudes to say, you know what, I'm comfortable with him as a other safety right now. And he's doing a lot of other things than just being our other safety right now, opposite of McKinney.
Yeah, I think he's a dude that really needs to get an extension, get a contract. You obviously don't break the bank, but you give him a decent deal because at the end of the day, he's a dude that you need in the building that's going to help continue to get that culture going.
Mm-hmm.
My man was holding snaps in the preseason. He was holding the ball for the kicker. Who does that? What safety does that? My man's a dog.
He's ridiculously versatile. Like they're using him on special teams, using him on and was he a special teams captain or is he like a defensive captain? I can't remember which one he's secondly listed
I
under.
think he's like a special teams captain. Granted, there's way too many captains, but yeah, he's a special teams captain. I don't knock the Giants for doing that because he's been consistent. He's been on the field and he's continually gotten better. He hasn't been like amazing, but he hasn't beaten you either.
Yeah. But what up, Flex? How you doing? And Judge has hit his 60th. Thank you. Calvin says, just a handful of teams are 2-0. Hope your Giants can make it to 3-0. Rooting for DJ Barkley and the coaching staff. Props. Thank you, Calvin. And don't sell yourself short on your Cardinals either. Kyler Murray had some theatrics for sure this past weekend. Manny, thank you as usual for calling in. Guys, he's also with BT Breaking Tackles Podcast. Make sure you guys go over there, check them out, and follow him on Twitter as well. Manny, thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Let me get this line moving. Next up is somebody I've been wanting to talk to for a minute. Also, did not get to speak to them. After 1-0, we 2-0. So that's the first thing I'm asking you. How are you feeling, Mac?
Well, I'm definitely feeling good about the 2-0 for sure. The 2-0 feels good because we ain't felt that in a long, long time. So 6 years, that's a long time in football.
You know what's crazy, Mac? We haven't felt 2-0 in a long time. In 6 years to be exact. I don't think we felt 3-0 since like 2008, 2009. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's been even longer.
Yeah, that's been a minute. That's definitely been a minute for sure. But this offense, man, I just need this offense to get some consistency,
do something,
get it going, man. Yeah, get it going,
something.
man. Can't just keep waiting to the middle of the third quarter to start figuring things out, man. You got to get it going from the beginning of the game, and that's the issue with number 8, Daniel Jones, for me, man. That's the issue with this kid.
Go ahead, break it down for me.
Because some people get blinded. You'll get blinded by the flashes he'll show, those couple clutch plays he makes down the stretch of a game, like he did in this past Sunday. With that big option, he made the right decision. He made a play, kept the drive alive. I mean, but then you got to remember the whole body of work from the rest of the game, just the anemic play. It's just, I need to see this guy, like you said earlier, be the reason the Giants are winning football games. Right now, it's all good. It's definitely all good. He's not causing us the game, but he's got to start stepping up and being the reason, like that we win some football games.
We're 2-0, and I've gotten so much hate on Twitter, especially Twitter. Like, you need a different type of mentality if you're gonna survive on Twitter, guys. For any of you that are not on Twitter, but it's all because I said that because it's almost the times that you can't criticize them. Like, two things can be true at once. I'm happy that we're winning, but I also recognize the fact that to win in this fashion is not sustainable, and the fashion is extremely close. The offense is not producing. The quarterback is mediocre at best. And you're relying on a defense that we've seen multiple times kind of outperform its personnel right now with great coaching, no doubt great coaching, but like sustainable? I don't know.
I mean, I agree 100% with you, man. That's why, like I said, I feel like the defense is totally playing out of its mind. So the offense got to step up and do its, like you said. Honestly, those 2 turnovers, you gotta find a way to put those in the end zone, man. Those are 2 huge plays right from the defenses and special teams is getting you right from the beginning of the game. And for what it's worth, honestly, if you go back and look at this game on Sunday, either way, it still worked out for us because if without those 2 field goals early in the game, we would have got shut out in the first half. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it still ended up working out, being those extra points we needed to get the job done. I mean, winning ugly, I still take that over a pretty loss all day long.
Yo, that's a very good saying. I've heard that one a little bit this past week, and I'll take it 100% as well. Let me get these couple comments right here. Flex says, oh, this is something else. I don't know if you want to get into that. He says, I smell a reunion. I smell bringing him home. LOL, OBJ may be on his way back. I just want to say, Flex, there's been literally no type of source. There's been no source to any of these rumors going around today. Zero source. Then he says, all aboard for the wide receiver free agent. Hilton can be a thing, or Sanu, OBJ. Dave's got enough with the BS. He's going to kick Holiday out of here. Maybe that second half is true, But the first half, I'm telling you, there's no source. Somebody tweeted it out, and that was it, bruh. Go ahead if you got any thoughts you want to share on that.
I mean, at this point, I want what's best for the New York Giants, and if they were to bring him in and feel like he's best to try to bring him back, then they got my blessing on that. But at the same time, it's not something I feel like we need to really look that serious into. I think right now, personalities like that, we don't need to be bringing personalities like that back into this locker room right now. And
Don't you think he's matured though, or not?
I mean, I don't know. Gotta see it to believe it, 100%. But at the same time, I mean, can't deny the talent. He's a dynamic player. But we've been there, done that. At this point, I've moved on. So I mean, whatever's best for the Giants. So I mean, I'm not going to hate on the decision if it was to happen, but it's nothing that I'm going to just like. I'm not necessarily like. Yeah,
you're not like hounding for it and whatnot.
Nah, I just feel like I like the kind of direction with this rebuild.
I was gonna say, yeah,
sure.
shifting off of Daniel Jones. Give me your other thoughts on the team, coaching, what you've seen the 2 weeks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like the direction things is going with the rebuild of this team, man. Brian Dable has brought the heart back to the New York Giants, man. Definitely brought the heart back. This team's gonna keep fighting no matter what. We're not gonna be an easy out regardless. You're gonna have to earn it no matter what when you're playing us. That 2-point conversion just changed the dynamic of everything in week one. I mean that's a call a lot of coaches. I mean, aren't making that. I mean, let's keep it real. A lot of coaches aren't going to make that call.
Yeah,
they're not going to have the guts to do that. They're not. I mean, it's not. But that for Brian Dable, what that did was it showed him that he believes in his guys. He believed in his guys to be able to make that play, and it wasn't perfectly executed. But Saquon Barkley, he willed himself into that end zone, man. So that's what
Saquon. That wasn't going to work with anybody else because he had to dodge a few people to get in there. Like before, as soon as he got the ball, he had to dodge a few people.
So yeah, Dable, he's like I said, that's one of the main things. People have been talking about culture the last couple years and all this culture and stuff. Now it's like it's starting to feel like real culture is coming back. He's just
you know what a lot of people have told us Giants fans over the past couple of years because we've had so much culture talks. They're like, the only culture that matters is a winning culture, and that's why it feels like that. Because winning is back, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, winning 2-0. Like I said, it's only 5 teams that's 2-0, and we are one of them. So, like that's what it's. You got this AFC champions last year, the Cincinnati Bengals sitting at 0-2, but the New York Giants is 2-0. Like just put that in the perspective. Like this, it feels good no matter what. I feel like we obviously got things we got to fix, but. The 2-0 is what it is. Like Bill Parcells said, you are what your record says you are, and we're 2-0 right now, and it feels damn good.
Yeah, and yo, there was this stupid list that got me angry. You said this power ranking that had us at number 21, bro. And I was like, are you serious? They had the Jets above us. I was like, are you serious, yo? You guys are not serious with this. Listen, now I know I make a joke when I say we should be top 6 in the league because there's only 6 undefeated teams left. But I feel like 21 is a little disrespectful, especially when you got the Jets above us. I'm like, there's no way I'm letting that slide, yo.
I mean, you got even look the Denver Broncos at 1-1, man. The
Denver Broncos have looked terrible. They've looked like some trash.
And it's like, how can you validate having these teams over top of Giants right now? Giants are 2-0. No matter how you feel about it, no matter how you feel about the quarterback, because I feel like that may be a big reason for the disrespect, but at the same time, 2-0 is 2-0, and we're better than 3/4 of the league right now at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Yo, shout out to Latin 08. Latin, unfortunately, I will not be putting the link back in the chat because I still got 4 people left. You know what I'm saying? I'm going overtime now. So, like, thank you for the interest. I'll pop in next week, though. You'll definitely have a chance to come on. Mac, looking forward to Dallas now. Let me get your thoughts.
Oh man, Dallas. This is, in my opinion, got to be like kind of a statement game at this point because, like you were just talking about the power rankings, okay, clearly we don't have the respect of the national media or pretty much anybody. So
And
this
this is
time
going
you
to
got
be
to
on
go out
national
there,
television.
national TV, go out there and punch the Cowboys in the face. As far as I'm concerned, Daniel Jones got to show up and show out. I feel like his record in prime time is absolutely awful. He doesn't. I mean, he doesn't. Have a history of playing very well under the lights. So Daniel Jones he's got to step up and show us what he's got, man. Because clearly the Cowboys are going to game plan to make sure Saquon Barkley or do their best to make sure Saquon Barkley doesn't beat them. So they're going to put it in Daniel Jones' hands. So he's got to make the plays, man. He's got to find the open guys. If number 19 has a good week of practice, maybe he can earn some reps back onto the field. I don't even get it anymore with that guy. I'm so over that whole situation.
I was going to say, that's what I was saying earlier too. I'm like, honestly, yo, I don't know if I care anymore, bro.
Yeah,
That's what it comes. Yeah.
Because at this point, if you can't do enough in practice to get more reps than
David Sills,
then it's a big issue for me anyway, because it's ridiculous for him. So it's not even worth the breath. And I just want to, like I said, to me, this has to be the Daniel Jones game. This has to be him stepping up.
Yeah, well, let's not forget he
the,
has to step up because Daniel Jones is 0-7 in primetime games. So if he doesn't, that's like a Kirk Cousins type situations that we just saw literally like last night.
And just like my man was just talking about before me, Manny, like you gotta be able to outdo Cooper Rush, man. You can't go out there on prime time and let Cooper Rush show you up. I'm sorry. He looked good against the Bengals. Give him props, okay? He led the Cowboys to a victory. But nah, it doesn't matter anymore. This is prime time. It's New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, NFC East, rivalry.
Yeah.
Let's go. And you got to be ready for this. And you got to be ready for the moment. Because at this point, if Daniel Jones, if you don't understand that this game's got to be mostly in your hands and on your shoulders, then I don't even know what we're doing anymore for real.
Yeah.
I mean, like this kid has got to, at some point, the coaches can only, they can get you prepared, but you got to still have that inner motivation yourself to want to go out there and get the job done. And it's got to be more than a play here and a play there. It's got to be consistent, good quarterback play. And we just got to, it's time to see it, man. And right now, this game on Monday night is a big one because I feel like we are a disrespected team right now, sitting at 2-0. I'm not trying to say we're better than the Bucks or the Chiefs or I'm not saying all of that. I'm just saying our record is the same as theirs, and just put a little more. We need to get these guys putting a little more respect on our name, and it's going to start with our quarterback showing he can go out there and make some plays.
Mac, thank you so much, man. I'm sorry it's a little bit shorter than usual, but I got these other 4 guys back here that I need to get on, man.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you, man.
Guys, you need to check out Mac both on YouTube and on Twitter. Make sure you sub him up, give him a follow, and hopefully we going to be speaking next time. It's going to be 3-0, man.
Absolutely, man.
Have a good one.
Thanks a lot. You too, bro.
Next up, guys, we got Jean. I believe Jean will be straight from the chat, or is it John? I don't know why I'm putting a French accent on it. What up, man? How you doing?
Nothing much. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah. When it comes to my name, it doesn't bother me because everybody, for some strange reason, wants to put that French accent on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it came
whatever.
naturally to me for some reason. Go ahead, man.
But Wink Martindale should get like Coach of the Year. I'm sorry, forget Dable. If we win like 9, 10 games or something like that because of the defense, Wink Martindale should get Coach of the Year. I'm sorry. I know he's not the head coach and whatnot, but you should just give it to him.
If we actually do that, he should definitely get I think the award is Assistant Coach of the Year, is what it is.
Oh, they have that for assistant coaches? I thought it was just only the head coach.
I want to say Assistant Coach of the Year exists. Let me look this up. Assistant Coach of the Year NFL. Is that a thing? Yeah, the AP Assistant Coach of the Year. Last year, guess who won it? Dan Quinn, Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator.
I don't care. They're trash.
Yeah, the AP Assistant Coach of the Year award, yeah.
But I just wanna say that we're doing this without our best pass rushers, without our bona fide or just an average corner number 2 at least on the defensive side. So it's just like I want to see Kayvon and Aziz just back and see what Great Markendale just does with them. Because when I look at the schedule and I see these teams we're playing, do you really think besides Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson could just chew up? Do you think the other teams could just chew up this defense? Because I really don't think so.
Right now, I'm on a little bit of a high, and I'd probably agree with you because the Giants are 2-0. You know, that's the high I'm on. But at the same time, I do want to see how we do against those guys. Because let's bring it down back down to earth. Those are the two best quarterbacks on the schedule that we play this year. And so far, Ryan Tannehill and Baker Mayfield aren't exactly the most impressive quarterbacks that we'll face. You know, so I do want to see how we do against them before I completely commit to that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, like besides Lamar and Rodgers, I really don't think.
And now I'm not gonna lie, Jalen Hurts as well. I think in terms of a dual threat.
Yeah, I'm talking about like straight up chewing our defense apart like it's butter. Like no, like I don't care about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is, but he has more rushing touchdowns than passing. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, that comes in with being a dual threat quarterback.
I know,
and the fact,
but I'm just saying.
No,
I know,
what I'm saying is, to your point of chewing up the defense, it's not just Jalen Hurts, it's the Philadelphia offense that just, completely, they've looked amazing through 2 weeks, that Philadelphia offense. 35 points and then 24 points, I think it was. Or was it 38 points?
Yeah, but come on now. They barely won against the Lions. And
yeah, but that's because of the defense, though.
That is true. And I did say that from last week that
we talking offense specifically, though, right? That's why that's why I brought them up.
Yeah, but all right, to the offense, on the first two turnovers, I really think that Kafka just wasn't play calling right. I really feel like the first half, like throughout the whole first half of both games, the play calling was just not right. Like, it's just I know DJ sometimes misses some wide receivers, but like I'm chalking this up to like, hey, almost all quarterbacks will miss a play here and there. But like when you're down there on the 10-yard line after two major turnovers that the special team and your defense makes, like you have to get touchdowns, either by running it or by doing some tight end wheel route or something like that. Just make it easier for the quarterback instead of what a wildcat for Saquon, and then a power running play for DJ.
I'm with you there, man. In the first half, the offensive play calling had me scratching my head a couple times.
Like we should have easily got 14 points. Like I'm sorry. I know. I think in one of those two drives that DJ may had a wide open tight end to get a possible touchdown, but I'm blaming that all on Kafka right there. I'm sorry. I can't you just can't leave 17 points like that. That's on play calling.
Yeah.
And I also believe that he's being too cute with it too. Like
in the red zone specifically, but the first one of the I can't remember which try it was. If it was the first time around or second time around during the Panthers game, yeah, I was just like, what are you doing? I think it was an end around or something like that.
Yeah, like he's being too cute, and I was watching another YouTube content creator saying that he wants to take the play calling duty away from Kafka and give it back to Dable just to show Kafka how to actually call plays.
I disagree with that.
How?
I mean, because Dable trusts Kafka with it, and that, like I said, it was one of the 2 times he got cute with it. The other times, let me finish though. The other times, right? One of the 2 times he got too cute with it, and like he learned immediately. The other times, like the first half, where I'm still questioning, what is he doing? Some of that could be overcome by your personnel. You know what I mean? But like you don't do that. This is the National Football League. You don't take away things. That's like something you do like a child would. It's a temper tantrum. These are professionals.
I'm but looking at these 2 games and just looking at the first half, like he's being way too cute. Like he needs to stop it and just like stop Bubba screaming for Kadarius Toney. Like stop doing it. Like make him go on a slam. Make him do like a dig. Do something with Tony besides
I can see where you're coming
gadget
from.
plays.
I can see where you're
just
coming
want
from, but at the same time, when he does just run Tony out there and Tony gets open, we see what happens, and Daniel just doesn't see him.
yeah, but on
But
that play,
Daniel
I'm just
completely
like,
misses him.
yeah, but like he might be open. Yeah, he might be open like 2 seconds after DJ made either looked at him, he looked him off or something like at the end of the day, we don't know what DJ's looking at. We could take a screenshot and be like, oh yeah, he's look because I was on Twitter and I don't know who did this, but they had a picture. DJ's head is on the left, looking left. Tony, either it was Tony or Shepard that was wide open in the middle of the field, but DJ's head was like on the left side. Like, come on now.
Yeah, but it
But
doesn't take you that. I feel like you're
yeah,
defending DJ heavy right now. It doesn't take you that long to look back over and see your
that is
wide
true.
receiver
But
is wide
that is
open.
true.
Plus,
That is
plus,
true.
I will correct you. We do know what DJ's looking at because we can see his helmet with the all 22.
That is true. I agree with you. And you probably I am defending DJ a little bit because it's like, hey, we're 2-0. He's not really killing us. We're not really losing games because of him. Yes, we're not winning games because of him, but he's doing enough for us to at least be in contention to win games. And you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. Because it's better than last year than we were in it and then something happens and we lost the game. I'm just really, really happy to be 2-0 right now. Possibly 3-0, maybe 4-0. But
I'd agree with Lucas in the chat. The O-line needs to step up more. The interior specifically. Our tacklers are doing a pretty good job. But the interior O-line for sure needs to step up more.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Let me...
I also believe that we should continuously to try to run the ball more because I feel like it really does help.
I agree with you, yeah.
The whole offense out. It helps. It doesn't matter who's the running back. It doesn't matter if Saquon's in or not. It just helps the offense and especially DJ, where we run the ball and we stay with it.
I'm with you there. I just wish he could do more than enough because, like I said earlier with the previous caller with Mac, playing these types of games and winning this way is not sustainable. Where your quarterback is playing mediocre and only doing enough, and your defense has to do like the 10 times the amount, it's not sustainable. So the offensive line gonna step up. DJ's gonna have to step up sooner rather than later. Let me get your last thought though, Jean, because I want to close out the podcast soon, man.
I just got two things to say and then I'm done. I will give DJ credit this. I feel like he's getting better, but it's just not enough for this. It's not enough. Maybe a couple more games, maybe things starts to click. But as of right now, he's just on a slow pace of learning everything, and it's working, but it's not enough for at least for his production, personally, for DJ. And then my last thought is, hey, I think I came, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I said we're gonna sweep the Cowboys. We're sweeping the Cowboys. I don't care when Dak comes back. I really don't care. We're sweeping the Cowboys.
I will say it became way more possible now that he's gone for the first game for sure.
That is true, but still, no, because out of all the teams in the NFC East, it's the Cowboys that's like just got our number for some strange reason. Forget the Eagles because the Eagles just win because of just stupid, dumb luck. 60+ field goal made or punt return. It just doesn't matter to me. But at the end of the day, I truly do feel like we're gonna win this game. We're gonna win it. I'm confident enough to say that.
For sure, man. Jean, thank you for calling in, man. Have a good one, bro.
You too, man.
Next, last but certainly not least, we got Kyle. I'm pretty sure that says New York Giants fan. The name is cut out. What up, Kyle? How you doing, man?
What up, Kush, brother?
You happy, and I don't blame you. We 2-0.
Brother, man, I'm beyond happy, brother. I'm beyond happy. And mind you, thank you for having me on your platform. Everybody who was on here, everybody in the chat, what's up? Go Giants. Let me know whenever you're ready, brother.
Go ahead, man. You got it. Just go right ahead.
All right. First off, we're gonna beat the Cowboys. We're not gonna lose to nobody that plays in flip-flops, bro. All Cowboys fans wear flip-flops, bro. I doubt that we'll lose.
We can't lose to Cooper Rush, yo. That's what I'm gonna say.
honestly, I'm just so happy for our team. I'm gonna say this first. Our special teams have been playing like that.
I
Like that.
disagree a little bit. The first game, the special teams was bad.
But they
The
had a
second
turnover.
game, they were better.
But they still had a turnover.
We
Not
had a
every
turnover on special
game-
teams in the first game?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, when yeah, I remember,
The fumble. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We're running the ball. We're running the ball good. Like you stated earlier, Saquon Barkley's leading the league. Is that me or is that
What?
I hear like a sound? Is that me?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
so what you hear? No, that's me. That what you hear
Okay.
is not the mic they're hearing. They're hearing this mic. You're hearing
Okay.
my webcam mic.
Okay. Barkley's running great. Our defense is playing great team defense. And I'm almost happy that our pass rushers are out. So don't get me wrong, I want them back.
Yeah.
But it gives our guys who can play. So when they do come back, they're not going to play every snap. They're going to be on some kind of a pitch count. So those guys who were playing like the O'Shane Zimenez and the Ellison Smiths, even though they're not great, they still got early season reps where they're not going to come in like it's new to them. I'm just beyond optimistic. I'm honestly, and I'm not a betting man, but I know for a fact we're going to beat the Cowboys. All right. We would have beat them last year if DJ didn't get hurt. And that's with Dak there.
Yeah.
I'm confident that we can beat the Bears. And I'm even extra confident we can beat the Packers. Now, again, I'm not stupid. We're Giants fans, so we know any week you can always lose, no matter who you are. But I meant what I said back in May, bro. 15-2. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we win more. Like, I really mean it, fellas. The Giants are going to take the league by storm. And I know there's
There's
going to be
no way
doubters.
you saying 17-0, bro. Stop it.
Bro, we haven't been 2-0 in 6 years. So right now, it's actually happening right now. The first half of our schedule, I'm just saying, it's at the worst, we may be 5-2 or 6-2. I'm not sure if we have a bye after week 8 or week 9.
I think we
So
have a
right
bye
now-
around 9 or 10, somewhere around there.
And also, and I'm not trying to harp on DJ, I understand everybody's concerns, but big picture, he's doing more with less. I'm going to bring up a different quarterback.
Define what you mean by
Tua.
doing more.
I'm just going to bring up Tua for a quick second. The past 2 years, they've been putting this kid down. He got Tyreek Hill and Waddle. He threw 6 touchdowns yesterday. They're not going to talk about, he's going to get paid. Okay? We're playing with our number one receiver who's getting 70+ million. He's not even playing, bro. We're playing with Sterling Shepard. Mind you, I love Sterling Shepard, but he's been a career number 2 or number 3. Never been a number 1 with us. Never. Okay? David Sills, I got no beef with him. He practices and plays hard. I got no beef with him. But if you think about teams who actually win, they got at least one better than average wide receiver who plays, whether he doesn't practice hard during the week. I wish our coach would understand there are some players that are better game players than practice players.
Mhm.
You know, the guy can actually play. Mind you, I love the coaches. I think their culture is set. They're doing really good, but I'm just focusing on what we're actually doing good. But for DJ to play the way he has with on the wideouts outside of Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney.
Oh, shout out to
being
Kibble in the chat. I
little-
just saw you there. What's up, man? Go ahead. Continue, bro.
It's just, I'm just happy that he's actually doing decent with not great compared to what other of the top 15 what the other top 15 quarterbacks are doing. And I know people want him to do great the whole game and throw bombs, but those final drives,
I would say I don't think people are asking for great. I think they're asking for just better than decent.
True.
Because let me
but-
ask you this. I'll ask you the same thing that I was saying earlier, which is, do you think the way that we're winning is sustainable? Which is very mediocre quarterback play. That's what it is. But an extravagant defense. Like, do you think that's sustainable? The offense is going to have to step up at some point.
Mind you, I respect your perspective, but first game he was 17 for 21.
So he had some completions, but did he do anything during that game, with the exception of the Sterling Shepard throw, that led to points?
Yeah, that last drive, that where we got the 2-point conversion. The last drive this past game,
I would say Saquon did that.
no, he got the 2 point, but that drive, the quarterback, I mean, he's getting the ball every play. He made I give guys credit for that clutch. Where when we need you on this drive, I don't care, even if you were a great quarterback, if you were great the first 4.5 quarters, but the last drive when we really need you is when you mess up. I don't care about what you did great the previous play or the previous.
So you look at it the inverse way as well.
Put it this way: Michael Jordan didn't make every jump shot, and I'm not comparing him to Michael Jordan, but I'm saying the last 2 weeks when that fourth quarter drive that we needed him to not mess up, not almost do something bad, he came through. That's all I'm trying to say. There's got to be.
No, I agree with you on that point, but what I'm asking is, how do you think that's sustainable? Just asking, like, the only thing we're asking for of him is not mess up. What I'm saying is, you don't think the offense is going to have to step up more than what it's doing right now at some point?
I have faith that our Giants are going to get better every week because, again, he's in his fourth system. Not just him, but we got new players.
Third.
We're not going to get worse, fellas. Every week, even if we happen to lose some games, we're still going to get better each and every week.
That's the goal.
So I expect our team on all aspects of the game, special teams, offense, and defense, to get better each week. It's a 17-game season now. And for us to finally get these close wins, I watched your stream Sunday, you and Kid Blue. So you guys are passionate, and I love that about you guys. But those fourth quarter, less than 2 minutes to go, there's just something about a guy in clutch moments where you don't throw that pick, you don't have that fumble. Even if we march down there and get a field goal to win, he still had to make the right plays to get down there for us to win. He still had to make right plays to get Saquon to get that ball for that 2 point to get in.
Yeah.
And mind you, I mean, we're not perfect. I understand everybody's concerns. I partially have those same ones, but I'm extremely optimistic because we're gonna get better. And I'm telling you, brother, we're gonna.
And I agree with you on that part, especially when a team is winning and we're starting to see a winning culture and we're starting to see the players on this team learn how to win, because none of them really been part of a winning Giants team ever, with the exception of Sterling Shepard, and that was his rookie year. That was so long ago. So I agree with you. You're supposed to get better, and I do think they're gonna get better. But I will stick with what I said, and I will stick and say that at some point during the season, the offense is gonna have to put up more than 20 points, which is what it's averaging right now. And they were, because I don't think they could rely on the defense for all 17 games.
You're right, but I know you got to go soon, okay? But I just wanted to say this: we still have to figure something out at wide receiver. Again, any top
give me your quick thoughts on what's going on with the Kenny G situation. Are you kind of just over it all, like I am at this point, whatever the case may be?
I think it sucks. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, I don't know what goes on behind the actual scenes, so I'm not going to speculate. But the guy can play, man. All I know is this: if we ever need to pass to win the game, even if he is a decoy, either him or Kadarius, no one's going to key in on David Sills, man. No one's going to key in on Sterling Shepard as much as I love him, unless he's playing slot. I don't want to disrespect Sterling. He's the man, but he's not a number one. They're not going to double him often. You know, they may double him on a third down if he's our top guy. But with Kadarius, Sterling, and Kadarius Toney, I think they should get some type of in-game chemistry with all of them. I think it'll benefit us, and I think that they're gonna do that. I just think the coach is just letting it be known, hey, this is how we do things here. Hopefully you guys will get on board. And I think that, actually, I don't think I know, they're gonna get better every week. And we're gonna shock Monday night, prime time. Giants fans will be on here Tuesday. I'll be watching y'all afterwards, saying, yo, we showed the world the Giants. We're just not no fluke. We're actually here. And
the Giants should win this game Monday night.
But like, again,
yeah.
I'll talk about it.
No, I was just gonna say they should win this game Monday night. I've been 2 for 2. I said we were gonna win Tennessee. We win Tennessee. I said we're gonna win Carolina. We won Carolina. I'm hoping we're gonna go 3 for 3, because there's no reason we should lose this game on Monday night.
Just keep wearing your Saquon Barkley jersey on game day, bro.
It's working. Just like I said earlier, I told Alex, For the first
It's
time
working.
in my life, I went to training camp, and the Giants is starting out good. I'm gonna have to do the same thing again next year. 2 training camps, no more, no less. That's what I'm gonna
Fellas,
do
it's
again.
working. It's working. I just wanted to tell y'all again, thank you for having me on it. It's gonna work, brother. And at the end of this season, I'm gonna come back on, and I guarantee you, Giants at minimum, you guys will not believe me, we're gonna win 15 games, but we're minimum gonna win double-digit games. Fellas, it's a pleasure for you all. Giants fans, we're the best fans on the planet. There's no better fans than us. And brother, keep up the great work, man. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. That guys, by the way, that is, I'm pretty sure, Scorpio Emperor King in the chat for those of you that don't know, right? Bam.
Go team,
Kyle,
man.
thank you so much for calling in, man. Have a blessed night, brother.
All right, brother.
Guys, and to the rest of y'all, thank you to the chat. Thank you all for tuning in and turning out. At peak, we had 70. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the show. I know I can't get every single comment, but I see you guys, and shout out to all of y'all. Isaac, J-Fed, Nova, Lucas, Sedan, KB was in here, and everybody that was in here earlier on. Without y'all, the show is impossible. Without the support, which is literally you guys viewing, I don't continue the show. So thank you so much. We're looking forward to Dallas. If you're a fan of the content, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, share it out. And tomorrow, Young Guns Podcast will be on Kid Blue. For those of you that didn't know, we did a complete rebrand of the show last week. I feel like it looks a lot better. We got an intro going now. We got some transitions going. It's going to continue into this week with the game of production level stepping up. And then after Young Guns, we're going to see you Monday night, where hopefully we beat these Dallas Cowboys. That's it for now, Giants fans, and I'm out. Peace.